Ah, the Sanctum, the new mechanic of the new 320 patch for Path of Exile. Like many others, I was kind of curious and intrigued about the idea of playing a roguelike in the world of Path of Exile. And while the mechanic itself I think is cool and quite interesting, I found that very quickly it's not great if you're playing melee. And I was playing melee, not just any melee build, but a very tanky, not particularly one-shot capable melee build. One that is capable of face tanking the Uber Eater of Worlds, one that is capable of clearing every single pinnacle encounter in the game, but not particularly fast at killing anything. Therefore, after a few tries with the Sanctum, I realized very, very quickly something. I needed something new. That's right, we're running Bane. Bane being probably one of the easiest skills to run with very low gear, very low requirements, scales really well off the gem, and it does everything you need to do to succeed in Sanctum. The idea being you cast Bane once, and if you do enough damage to kill them in one cast, then the enemies are not going to bother you. You can hide behind a corner, you can run away from them towards the next enemy, it doesn't matter. And it has worked really, really well. The first thing is let's take a look at path of building. It's impossible to make a bad Bane build. You start by grabbing a Scion, then you, you're going to go Occultist and Trickster, and then you're going to start building your tree. You go this way first because you want some energy shield. Then you go straight for Whispers of Doom. Oh, look at that. We have some chaos damage right here. Ooh, Ghost Dance, which is one of the best defensive skills that you can have if you're having energy shield and evasion. And Leaf Shade, very famously one of the best skills for damage over time. And oh, look at that. Damage over time right there. Spell right there. So you can grab spell damage per intelligence. Caster Mastery, fantastic. And see what I mean? Like all the skills that you need, like you have here more damage over time, damage over time, damage over time. You go down here, you have chaos. You go down here, oh, charisma. Wait, you have reservation here as well. Excellent. Let's give ourselves some more damage. Everything is right there. And then you have more evasion and life and energy shield right at your fingertips. There's a reason why every build that does Bane plus something else, typically, Essence, whether it's Essence Drain, whether it's Blight, whether it's something else, more or less looks like this. I mean, all the good stuff is there. So making a bad build for Bane is going to be very hard. Just grab the obvious stuff, put a cluster in there for chaos damage, and you're done. The one thing, however, that I did different is that after doing all this, people start going into places like this. Spell suppression, right? Let's get even more defenses and so on. More life. Look at that. Leech, life. I did none of that shit. I don't run any more auras other than malevolence for damage and grace, so I have one layer of defense when I'm doing maps. I don't care about life. I only need enough life, an energy shield, so I don't die immediately if I get one-shotted in the Sanctum. I need enough life to survive one hit. That's it. That's all we want. And because we're only running one or two auras, Malevolence by itself or Malevolence plus Grace when you're in maps, we can allocate Supreme Eco. And that will give us even more damage, even more DPS, even faster killing of everything in there. So yeah, I'll put some links for trees for POV links for trees in the description of the video. But the truth is, this doesn't really matter. Just go in there, go in this part of the tree, grab all the good stuff, and you're done. That's all you need to do. Now, as far as gear goes, getting started is very, very cheap. Watch this. I mean, yep, that's right. Getting a staff like this, which has the basics of what you need, level of socketed chaos gems and chaos damage over time, is the easiest thing in the world. There's not that many modifiers that have the chaos tag, even for staffs. So in this case, you know, we got 3 of them. You can, if you do it with fossils, you'll probably get something similar. The one I'm wearing is not that much better. It has +1 to all of them, which is nice. So it's an extra 3. The really expensive staffs have +5 to skills, not +2 or +3. And then you just craft some spell damage. And you can craft as much spell damage as your budget allows. At low budget, you can get 30, 40, 50% for like a couple of alteration orbs. I think it's 4 the minimum. You do the same with amulets. You start with an amulet, you craft chaos, and you want +1 to chaos skills. If you can get spell damage, like I got in this too, so much better. Again, this was just a little bit of juice on the harvest, and I got them. The one I'm wearing is a lot more expensive, but you know, to get you started, that's it. Rings. All you want is essences. See that modifier that says increase chaos damage? It says of the essence. Essences of envy give you chaos damage on rings. And the cheap ones, which is the one I used on the other ring, 23 to 26%, they cost a single chaos in the market. 1 chaos. You can grab a few of them. You can start with only 2 of them and do what I did here, which is I just crafted the life I needed. And as far as clusters go, honestly, any old cluster will do. Seriously. Increased chaos damage 12% by itself is good enough. So if you find a large cluster with like 12 passives and no notables, use it. You are absolutely fine. Once you get a bit of juice, you can just reforge chaos and the notables start to show up. Medium clusters, this can be a little bit more pricey, so if you have them, don't use them. You don't need them yet. And the rest of the gear, it doesn't matter. I mean, look at the stuff I was running in the beginning. I think it's like, I don't think that's a chaos in the market. I think you can get a chaos for that helmet in the market. It's that bad. And yeah, well, the chest was good because I found it with my other character, but all you want is, you know, defenses, some life. If it was half life and half the defenses, it would still be good enough. That's all you need. Like, find resistances, find defenses. That's all you need for the rest of your gear to get started. All right, let me show you real quick my setup with the relics. The most important ones are these 2. Having inspiration gain when you receive an affliction is huge. In this case, it's like nearly 100. In a typical run, you're gonna hit 7, 8, 10 afflictions easily. You'll be able to get rid of a few of them using pacts and boons and things like that, but you are going to hit a lot of them. And having so much inspiration come in means that you can ignore your resolve. And why is that important? Well, if you come to a room like this, you have pacts and you have an offer at the back where you can get some loot. And look at this. Gain an affliction, gain a boon. Or lose maximum resolve and gain some boons. Right? Well, let's do it. Well, look at that. Inspiration went way up. We have a very nice boon. We lost choices from the merchant. Not ideal, but okay. And more importantly, let's try it again. If we can ignore resolve, we can grab something like that. We now have reduced action speed for monsters. We now have gold trophy, which is super nice. And resolve's gone down, but it doesn't matter. And look at that. We can now access the rewards as well. And that's it. That's all you need to do. That's all I have for the video. The last question is, how well does it run? Well, see for yourself and hope you give it a try.
Walking other ways. Now listen, ain't it crazy? Wish you the best on your journey. Last time I saw you, lady. Last time I saw you, we were walking other ways. We were walking other ways. Now listen, ain't it crazy? Ain't it crazy? Wish you other ways. Now listen, ain't it crazy? Wish you the best in your journey. Last time I saw you, lady. Last time I saw you, we were walking other ways.